Hello and welcome to New Mexico Rising. My name is Dan. You know, each and every week I try to bring people from all across the country right here on the show to talk to me about cool things you can do right here in New Mexico. If you want to be part of the show, just email me, newmexicorising@gmail.com. On this week's program, we have a giant restaurant chain that's trying to help battle food insecurity. And coming up a little later, banks are joining forces to try to celebrate the best day ever. How? We'll talk about it right here on New Mexico Rising. You know, with Medicare's annual enrollment period in full swing, many of you are probably overwhelmed with the options, A, B, C, D, but no worries. Today, we have Fran Soistman, eHealth, with many years of experience in the healthcare industry, here to help us out. Welcome to the show, Fran. How are you?
I'm great, Dan. Thanks for having me today.
All right. When is the Medicare annual enrollment period, and why is it important to take advantage of it every single year?
Well, the Medicare enrollment period began this past Sunday, October 15th, and runs through December 7th. And the importance of participating is oftentimes there are changes that occur between years. So if you're in Medicare A, B, which is hospital, physician, and D, prescription drug, your financial situation may have changed or is going to be changing next year. So it's an opportune time to look at Medicare Part C, Medicare Advantage. Oftentimes offers a $0 monthly premium plan and comprises both A, B, and D. So it can be a very good option for those on fixed incomes. If you're an existing Medicare Advantage member, your plan may be changing for next year. So it's important to go back to what is known as the annual notice of change, which was sent to you by your insurance company just in the past month, describing what's going to change next year. Those changes may be subtle or they may be substantial. It's best to know so that you can determine, are my needs going to be met next year?
So what are 5 things that every Medicare beneficiary needs to know?
There are about 5 tips that I would offer. 1, be prepared. Have your Medicare ID number available. Do a health inventory, which we view as having your prescription drugs, a list of those, the doctors that you want to work with. To the extent you have an elective procedure next year, make sure that your hospital is going to be in the network. You want to put time aside. You want to make sure that you don't procrastinate, even though you have till December 7th. Best to do it sooner rather than later. eHealth offers appointment scheduling, which can be very convenient for Medicare eligibles like myself who have busy days. They want to put time aside. We can accommodate that. And it's important that you work with a licensed agent. An agent is going to be able to help you navigate this. It can be stressful, it can be daunting, but it doesn't have to be. Work with a good licensed agent like eHealth, and we're happy to help you go through the process. It's a decision that you make. We just help you narrow down the choices that best fit your needs.
How can we best prepare for the AEP season? Do you have any tips there?
Well, the tips that I just outlined are the best, but they're worth repeating. Have your ID card or your ID number, Medicare ID number available. Know the prescription drugs that you're utilizing. Have those available. Set up time. Don't procrastinate. Work with a licensed agent, and you'll have a great experience, a stress-free experience.
Well, Fran, thanks for joining me this morning. Where can we go for more information to learn more about how we can get our help?
Yes, thank you for that opportunity. You can call eHealth's toll-free number at 866-395-2104, 866-395-2104, or you can visit eHealth's website, eHealth.com, eHealth.com.
Fran, thanks for joining me this morning, and that's a wealth of information. Hopefully people get the help they need to get up to date.
Thanks again for having me today.
Unlocking potential through upskilling is a pathway to career advancement. Yet for many American workers, specifically women and minorities, significant roadblocks reduce these opportunities. New research unveils a significant say-do gap for workers and companies alike. So what barriers prevent these workers from taking advantage of the upskilling opportunities their career progression actually requires? Well, Elise Awwad from DeVry University's new and notably first female president and CEO joins us live from Chicago to illuminate and discuss this issue. Welcome to the show, Elise. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Can you share some of the statistics from this study that we're talking about?
Absolutely. So as you stated, there's this general finding that presents the say-do gap where American workers say upskilling is important for career advancement, but very few take advantage of those upskilling opportunities. And the report actually highlights that women and people of color are disproportionately disadvantaged. And that means 73% of men actually have access to upskilling versus 56% of women and only 42% of people of color. And if you take it a step further, even with employer-sponsored programs, only 37% of women actually take advantage of these upskilling opportunities versus 56% of men. So wide gaps between those two groups.
So why is it crucial for employers to start focusing on closing this gap? Okay, that's kind of basic, easy question to answer, but it is, right?
Yes, I mean, it's worth talking about. There's really two big reasons. One, it's important that business leaders develop a future-ready workforce. In the face of consistent technological disruptions, you see AI surfacing and being more and more prevalent in the workplace. So upskilling your team to be able to handle and interact with those types of technologies is going to be important. And then two, it's important to retain and attract a diverse workforce, just to have a thriving workforce in general. And employers can make access easy for all. You can have on-the-job training through flexible programs like DeVry University, a higher education institution that offers these programs for corporate partners, or you can have informal trainings for your staff.
So what do employees need to be doing to be making sure they're getting the training they need so they could build their career?
Great question. So I think it's really two big things. One, engage your leaders, communicate, talk about your career development plan and what your career aspirations and goals are. If they don't know, they can't help. And then two, take initiative and find opportunities to continue to develop and gain the skills and knowledge necessary to build your career and work towards your career goals.
And you've been named, and congratulations, you've been named the first female president of CEO of DeVry University. In his 92-year history, so maybe a little too late. How have you risen through the ranks yourself? What advice do you have for other women looking to grow their careers? And how can companies that haven't hired a woman think about doing so as their CEO right away now?
I'm so happy you asked this question. And I'll start with the fact that being the first is exactly the reason why I think it's important to talk about this study and the reason why we did this research. And it's to highlight that these gaps exist. And for women, the advice I'd give is be resilient, take ownership of your career, and know that there will always be challenges and barriers that you're going to face. And I would say just persist through those barriers. I found myself asking the same question over and over, which was, if not now, then when? And then be curious, take initiative, find opportunities to continue to develop and build your skill set and work towards your career goals. And then three, cultivate your network, find mentors and allies to support you along the way. As a woman myself, I mentor many across the country. So I'll also offer advice to women who have advanced their careers, serve as a mentor for these female aspiring leaders. And employers can continue to invest in their employees through business resource groups and DE&I programs.
Well, thank you very much for joining me this morning. Where can we go for more information about the survey?
So for more information about the survey and the research conducted, you can visit us at devry.edu to learn more.
Great. And if we're interested in growing our career, where else can we go? Probably the same place.
Same place, DeVry.edu, and we actually have a DeVry Works function within the university that works with our corporate employers to help them with their upskilling and reskilling needs. also found on the website.
Elise, thanks for joining me this morning.
Thank you for having me.
You know, fall and winter are also the cold and flu seasons, which is why it's important to take proactive steps to reduce the chance of getting sick. So joining us today to keep us healthy and feeling good is Dr. Contessa Metcalfe, a double board certified celebrity physician who's here with the timely tips of preventing illness. Welcome to the show, Contessa. How are you?
I'm wonderful, Dan. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous. It's great to have you back. This time it's talking about trying to keep ourselves healthy a little bit. What health challenges are kind of looming out there during this fall and winter season?
So it's really common to get sick from respiratory illnesses such as like COVID-19, flu, and RSV, especially in fall and winter. RSV causes those mild cold-like symptoms, but can be serious in infants and older adults. Everyone 6 months and older should receive a yearly flu vaccine. And from what we know, COVID-19 spreads more easily than flu and can cause more severe illness. So staying up to date with all of your vaccines remains critical to reducing the risk of severe illness and death.
Okay, I'm gonna have to say this right now. You know when people, when we had to wear masks for a year?
Yeah.
I know that's silly, but I didn't get sick. Every year I got a bad flu for about a week. I was in bed. The year I wore a mask like crazy, didn't get sick. So I'm going to start doing it again when cold and flu season kicks in again, because I don't want to get sick. You guys keep your germs. That's how it is. All right. Sorry to throw that in, but it's just a good suggestion. If you don't want to get sick, just wear the mask a little bit again.
Wear
it's
the
not
mask.
like it's gonna be.
That's right.
All right. Well, what is a health issue that is often overlooked in your eyes?
You know what, Dan? It is shocking to me how many of my patients are suffering from hearing loss. Hearing aids became available over the counter approximately 1 year ago. Now, Lexi Hearing offers affordable over-the-counter hearing aids that are clinically proven to provide similar hearing benefits as audiologist-fitted ones. Their award-winning customer support delivers an excellent hearing experience. Lexi Hearing is a leading provider of affordable hearing products, helping people with mild to moderate hearing loss live happier, healthier lives. And you can go to lexihearing.com and do an online free hearing test. And you can then find those hearing aids over the counter without a prescription at your local retailer or pharmacy.
All right, here's another weird tip that I learned. I know I keep throwing these in, but my ex-girlfriend was hard of hearing. And she told me that, because there was a big stigma about wearing hearing aids. But the thing is, what I heard, that's terrible. What I learned was if you see people with glasses, that's about the same amount of people that you should see wearing hearing aids, because
Absolutely right.
a lot of people just go without treating their hearing health. So that's a weird little tip that I learned from someone that was hard of hearing, and it kind of opened my eyes to the world of, the hearing health is extremely important. All right, sorry to throw that in there. What are some preventative ways to maintain good health overall?
Well, fall and winter months can be really challenging on your immune system, especially if you're traveling a lot. And so if you're traveling a lot, for optimal immune support, look for dietary supplements like Well-Traveled with science-backed Amuse. Amuse is a postbiotic, which is verified by 30 published studies. It provides a novel activation of the PDC cells, which are the leaders of the immune system, thereby delivering more comprehensive immune support. Amuse can be found in dietary supplements like Well-Traveled Immune Activator.
That sounds good to me. All right, when dealing with cold or flu, what should people keep handy?
Well, we just talked about one of those things, those basic preventive measures. Keep a mask available, making sure that you are not touching your face with unwashed hands. Cover coughs and sneezes with a tissue and then dispose of those. Wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds. And if you don't have soap and water available, keep on hand sanitizer containing at least 60% alcohol.
All right. And what else could people do to keep from getting sick and promote wellness?
Well, we know that it may be inevitable. So if you get sick, please stay home. Don't go to work. Don't send your kids to school. Get plenty of sleep, be physically active, manage your stress, drink lots of water, and eat nutritious food. Now, did you know that fewer than 1 in 10 adults eat the recommended daily amount of vegetables, and only 1 in 7 adults eat enough fruit? Poor nutrition contributes to many costly diseases, including obesity, heart disease, and even some types of cancers. So do what you can with these lifestyle modifications to turn your body into a virus-fighting machine.
And I like that more and more employers are asking for, doctor notes less. So
That's right.
people are getting healthier. It's like, oh, go get healthy. Don't bring your germs here. That's actually a really nice thing. So, all right, Dr. Contessa, where can we go for more information?
Well, for more information about everything we talked about today, go to tipsontv.com.
Dr. Contessa Metcalfe, thanks for joining me this morning. You are a hero, keeping people healthy. And staying healthy isn't a political issue. It's just staying healthy, all right, people?
That's right.
Wear your mask,
That's right.
wash your hands, keep me from getting sick, too.
Keep everybody safe.
Yeah, that's good.
Do your
I love
part.
you.
That's right.
Are you feeling anxious about the U.S. economy despite raising home values? You're not alone. Nearly 80% of American homeowners are pretty much in the same boat. If you're concerned about paying for unexpected costs in retirement or feeling that pinch in daily expenses, well, today we got Chris Moschner, Chief Marketing Officer for Finance of America Reverse, here to give you a little guidance on what you can do to get the help that you need. Welcome to the show, Chris. How are you?
Doing great, Dan. Thanks for having me.
So, what is this home equity punch list?
Sure. So the Home Equity Punch List is an annual survey that measures homeowners' awareness of the wealth that they have in their home and how it can be used. And we conduct it because at Finance of America, we believe everyone deserves a secure and stress-free retirement. And more importantly, we believe that home equity can be a powerful tool to help more people achieve that outcome.
So tell us the main takeaway you found from this year's survey.
Sure. So I'd point to three main things. First, over 80% of homeowners are concerned about the current state of the U.S. economy. Second, a majority are concerned about how long their money will last in retirement. And third, a majority also don't understand how home equity could be a solution to these problems. And that actually makes sense based on what we're seeing across the broader economy. Right now, 3 out of every 4 seniors aren't able to maintain their quality of life as they age. And simply because their savings aren't lasting as long as they need them to. And that issue is being compounded by the effects of high inflation and rising interest rates that, frankly, we're all dealing with right now.
And the financial challenges people are facing are growing, especially for those later in life. How can home equity help these older homeowners achieve their financial goals?
Sure. So the good news is that many people have more wealth in the form of home equity than they actually realize. And at Finance of America, we help people explore the different options available to them to turn that equity into cash. And they could use these solutions just to help boost financial security or alternatively provide more flexibility as they age and their needs change over time. And Dan, I'll give you a couple examples to highlight the point. So we recently helped a couple in Nevada eliminate their mortgage payment to just give them a little bit of a financial cushion and boost their monthly cash flow. We also helped a woman in Orlando, Florida, stay in her home so she could age in place and not have to move into a managed care facility. And we also helped a gentleman in Southern California who owned a ranch, and he was able to tap his home equity to pay for property improvements so he didn't have to tap into his IRA or other retirement accounts.
The survey also pointed out to a need for more education. Why do you think there is a knowledge gap when it comes to home equity, and what should homeowners do to kind of help it?
Sure. So the bottom line is this. If you're over 55, you owe it to yourself to get educated on the benefits of home equity and the different options available to you. And the great news is many of these products are not new or untested. In fact, some, like a reverse mortgage, are actually insured by the federal government. And we've helped tens of thousands of people across all walks of life tap into their home equity. For example, we can actually offer loans all the way up to $4 million based on the value of the home.
Chris Moschner, where can we go for more information if people are interested in maybe getting one of these reverse mortgages from you guys at Finance of America Reverse?
Sure. For starters, they can come to our website at far.com. That's FAR.com to learn more about the different options available. or just to read some of our educational materials. Alternatively, they can always talk to their local mortgage professional, who I'm sure would be happy to point them in the right direction for more information.
Well, Chris, thanks for joining me this morning.
Thank you, Dan. It's great to be with you.
Did you know that 119 billion pounds of food, that billion with a B, is wasted each year in the United States alone? That's a huge, crazy stat. Well, meanwhile, 10% of our population, that's nearly 34 million people, live with food insecurity daily. All right, that combo does not work very well together. And there's one company that's starting to do something to help keep the food out of the landfills and try to put it in the hands of the people who might otherwise go hungry. So joining this morning is Brent Fielder, Senior Director of Corporate Social Responsibility for Chick-Fil-A, and Chef Loris Gibson from St. Vinny's Bistro, a San Antonio-based nonprofit. Good morning to you both. And those numbers are scaring me, man.
Yeah, the numbers are staggering, and it's shocking to us. And so we think, as a restaurant company, we have a responsibility to help figure out how can we help lead in this space. And so we developed the Chick-fil-A Shared Table program, which is a program that allows our local owner-operators all across the country to be able to take their surplus food and be able to donate it to local nonprofit partners. Then those nonprofit partners, like we'll hear from today, actually take that excess food and they repurpose it into amazing meals to be able to serve those in need. And to date, we've been able to donate over 23 million meals.
And Chef Gibson, what do donations like these mean for known nonprofits like yours to kind of help feed this country's hungry?
I mean, it's huge. Me, myself, being a client at one time, as well as homeless or experiencing homelessness, partnering with Shared Table and Chick-fil-A has been instrumental in helping St. Vinny's Bistro be successful. It's allowed us to create a variety of menu items for our brothers and sisters in need, such as using their Chick-fil-A nuggets to make wonderful breakfast items such as chicken and waffles, smothered chicken, as well as sweet and sour chicken. So we're truly grateful for partnering with Shared Table and Chick-fil-A.
Brent, you guys have also developed something to help us all be a little more food sensible instead of wasteful. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, super excited about this. We have just launched our very first ever digital cookbook. It's called Extra Helpings, and it's inspired by our Shared Table program. And so in that cookbook, you're going to find different recipes created by our nonprofit partners that use our surplus food and that you can use with surplus food in your home. And we've also put a few little hidden nuggets in there with some old Chick-fil-A recipes that maybe you can't get in the restaurants anymore. And so we would encourage you to check it out. And our hope is that this cookbook actually acts as an inspiration and an education tool for all of us, people like you and me, as we go through it. Hopefully, it will raise some awareness around food insecurity and also help inspire us to think about how do you repurpose the stuff that you currently have in your home and help collectively work towards eliminating food waste in our country.
I like that you use the term hidden nuggets in there. Chef Gibson, what are some of your favorite recipe ideas that are in this cookbook? You're a chef, you got to know the good stuff.
Yeah, I can't go wrong with that. But we definitely are. St. Vinny's Bistro sweet and sour chicken nuggets are fabulous. The sweet and sour sauce is a little sweet, got that savory going. Simple items that you have in your cupboard, such as granulated sugar, apple cider vinegar, soy sauce to give it that little saltiness to it, but it's fabulous. And our brothers and sisters in need truly love it out there. Thank you.
Chef Gibson, Brent, thanks for joining me this morning. Where can we go for more nuggets of information?
Yeah, so we would encourage you to check out extrahelpings.com. And at that website, you'll be able to access that free digital cookbook. So please take a look at that. And then also chickfil-a.com/shared table. At that website, you're going to be able to learn all about this amazing program that our owner-operators are facilitating all across the country to help those in need.
Well, thank you, too, for joining me this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Have you heard the saying, a random act of kindness can change a life? Kasasa and Charlie Rocket are getting community banks and credit unions across the country involved with the goal of performing 100,000 acts of kindness. And kicking off on November 3rd, aka the best day ever, here to talk about it is Gabe Krajicek, CEO of Kasasa. Welcome to the show, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Glad to be here. Thank you.
Okay, we got to know where the idea of 100,000 acts of kindness come from, and why do you think it's so important for your organization to jump in and try to celebrate kindness?
Well, I don't think it's a controversial statement to say that there's a lot of darkness in the world right now, and Kasasa has a value of love. We recently had a client event where we were flying a bunch of community bank execs and credit union execs down to Austin, Texas, and we wanted to do something to spread the light. And we challenged these executives to put on bright red capes that said Kasasa on the back and to go to downtown Austin and to walk up to total random strangers and hand them a red envelope. And in the envelope was a little bit of money, $5 to $10, and a note that said something like, because every little bit matters and so do you. And I watched these execs give out this card to random strangers. And one lady was this kind of cool looking girl in the corner of the bar sitting by herself. And I saw this credit union executive go over to her. And when she got to the money, she barely noticed it. But when she saw the note that said she mattered, big tears welled up in her eyes and her face turned beet red. And she, with a trembling voice said to this credit union exec, "You have no idea what this means to me in this moment." And it hit me that we've got clients all across the country in all 50 states. They all love their communities. They love human connection. It's what makes them different than the mega banks is this type of interaction. And I just thought, like, what if we could scale it all across the country, do it on the same day? How big of a wave of kindness and goodness could we make ripple through the country? And so called up Charlie Rocket, got 9 million followers on all the social media channels. And he actually, believe it or not, wanted to do an event almost just like this. And so we said we got to work together and make it happen. And that's what we're doing next weekend.
So how can we get involved? How can we jump in and participate in the best day ever events?
Well, in Albuquerque, we've got 3 credit unions, Zia Credit Union, First Financial Credit Union, State Employees Credit Unions that are all putting on events. And consumers can go to kasasalove.com. That's KASASALOVE.com. And on there, there's a map of where different community institutions are doing their events, and you can participate in those. Or if that timing doesn't work and you just want to be kind to people, also on kasasalove.com on November 3rd, there's going to be a button, and it's just a simple button, but you can push that every single time you're kind to somebody. And so if you don't normally smile to people when you go to work, maybe you smile at everybody and you get to push the button every time you created that random act of kindness. And that'll help you contribute as we track our progress all the way to 100,000 random acts of kindness through that weekend.
So what makes community financial institutions unique in helping bring communities together?
They're fundamentally different. They're different because their leaders live in and love the communities that they serve. It's that simple. Bank of America, it's a great bank, nothing against it, but their leaders live at the headquarters. They live where they live. They don't live in that same community that the people that bank with them live in. And when you bank with a local institution, your deposits that go into that institution become fuel for lending for your neighbors, for small businesses that you love using. And you've got that money being deployed and invested in your community by someone who lives in that same community and loves it. And that's just, it's an ineffable difference between what the mega banks offer and what the community banks offer because of that local connection and that real human connection.
Gabe Krajicek, where can we go for more information on the best day ever events?
Kasasalove.com. That's KASASALOVE.com.
Gabe, thanks for joining me this morning, and have yourself the best day ever, all right? And that is it for New Mexico Rising. Make sure you follow us on social media, and if you want to be part of the show, email me, newmexicorising@gmail.com. Until next week, that was New Mexico Rising.